Yeah, hello, welcome back to MindMapDictionary. Here is my new post, the 10 characteristics of good work breakdown structures. So click on it, you can expand it. So these are the 10 characteristics of good work breakdown structures. The first one is 880 rule. That means work packages should be between 8 hours and 80 hours. For small projects, the work packages should be around that 8 hours, and for large projects, the affinity of the work packages can be towards that 80 hours. We call it as 880 rule. It is a heuristic, so it is not mandatory. At the same time, it is very useful while doing the work breakdown structures. For small projects, the affinity of the work packages should be towards that 8-hour chunks of work, whereas for large projects, it can be towards that 80 hours. So in a nutshell, it is work packages should be between 8 hours and 80 hours. Then we have the point number 2, 100% rule. So the entire scope, or the 100% of the scope, should be covered by the work breakdown structure. So whatever is there in the scope document, it should be part of the WBS structure. Otherwise, when we carry it forward to the schedule and to the final product, those things will be missing. Then a good work breakdown structure can take two forms. One is the tree structure and the other one is the list structure. Sometimes people use both tree structure and the list structure. Then all good WBS work breakdown structures, the work packages in those work breakdown structures are supported by WBS dictionaries. WBS dictionaries provide additional information about the work packages. That means, okay, let us say I want to paint a particular room in a 10-storied building. So I must specify which floor, which room, which wall, what kind of paint, how many coats, what should be the room temperature, what should be the dependency, what are the dependencies, what are the additional precautions I should be making. So all these things I should provide with respect to that work package, so that the person who's really doing it can do it without any mistakes. So all good work breakdown structure are supported by WBS dictionaries. And all the work packages in the WBS are codified. We call it as code of accounts. If these codification schemes are well thought out, that supports the monitoring and controlling at a work package level. Then work package sizing, again for small projects, the affinity of the work packages should be towards that 8 hours, and for large projects it can be towards that 80 hours, and for mega large projects we can even bypass it. And sometimes or we should ensure that the work packages should be within the reporting period of the project. That means if I have a monthly reviews, then as far as possible, this work package should be able to start and complete within 30 days time, so that my progress monitoring will be more accurate. And the naming convention, work packages are always named as nouns, not as verb. So collecting requirements is a wrong naming for work packages, whereas requirements is the right thing to use there. And cross-functional teams. Every good WBS work breakdown structures, to create great work breakdown structures, we need cross-functional teams who can contribute to all the work packages, because one project manager may not have the know-how to do all these things alone. So we need cross-functional teams to do good work breakdown structures. And the projects are progressive in nature. That means when I start a project, I have a very less information about the project, and as we proceed, we gain more and more insight about the project. We call it as progressive elaboration. So the work breakdown structures also progressively developed along with this progressive elaboration. That means when I start a project, if I start a WBS along with it, it may stop at level 1. As and when I gain more information, maybe I may have some information to expand it into level 2, then to level 3, to level 4, level 5. And by the time we reach level 4 and 5, by the time we'll see that 880 rule happening. We call this as progressive elaboration. Then all good work breakdown structures are linked to the project strategy. That means when we develop the work breakdown structure, simultaneously we'll be deciding what all things we will do ourselves, what all things we'll subcontract, where and all we'll be using joint application development, how can we bring in more concurrency into the whole scheduling process. So all these things are thought out while doing the work breakdown structure. So the project strategy drives the work breakdown structure, and the work breakdown structure drives the project strategy. So that is a chicken egg story. Let me summarize these 10 characteristics of good work breakdown structures. The first one is 880 rule. Work packages should be between 8 hours and 80 hours. Then 100% rule. The entire scope must be included in the WBS. WBS can take the tree structure or a list structure. Work packages are supported by WBS dictionaries, and the code of accounts of the work packages must be well thought out so that it can support us in monitoring and controlling. The work package sizing, one factor is 880 rule, the other factor is the work package durations must be lesser than the project progress reporting so that the reporting can be more accurate. Then the naming convention, always the work packages should be named as a noun, and great work packages are developed by cross-functional teams, and work packages are progressively elaborated and they are linked to the project's strategy. So that completes the mind map, and if you have understood things, I've given a small assessment form here, 10 questions. You can take these tests, like work packages are at the lowest level in a WBS, true or false kind of thing. So you can do this test if you want to, and you get a score at the end of it. And if you're getting a good score, there is an indication that you have understood it. Yeah, and the complete blog article, if you want to read, you just click here and it goes to the complete that blog article. So it goes to Wrench SP site, and there is the full form of the blog entry. So read that, and if you want to see a demo of how work packages are done, you can click here and request for the demo. So we'll organize a demo of how work packages are really done. Thank you.